decided I should probably continue onward as I've been discussing my personal self a lot more lately, which is very unusual because I'm pretty introverted. But it's been good for me to kind of open up and like explain myself. It helps solidify things in my own brain. But it's really weird, some things that I found while discussing genderqueer is that I think that naturally for me, being genderqueer, having that disambiguity connected with gender, it seems to follow very naturally that I am pansexual, or whatever word you want to put with that. I don't think of gender when thinking of relationships. But I found that there's a lot of people who identify both as genderqueer and as lesbian. And while I guess that's obviously fine, that people can do what they need in their own mind, it seems strange to me that a person can say, I don't feel male or female, I don't feel like I fit in that gender box, yet I'm still going to base my relationships off of the gender box. And I mean, I guess it's just a preference thing, but to me, attraction isn't limited to that, and I would never be attracted to someone and then be like, oh, but I can't like have a relationship with you because you have such and such genitalia. I don't know, it just seems kind of like a controversy or a contradiction to the genderqueer, to be so specific, but I understand it academically, just not in my own mind. It doesn't work that way. But along with this whole being able to explain myself more and coming more to terms and explaining it more in general, I've decided to finally write a letter to my parents, explaining that, and just generally coming out. Basically, they're just in denial at the moment because I've pretty much looked like this all my life. I did just start binding about a year ago, but pretty much always dressed in men's clothing and had short hair, and never had been in a relationship except for just a couple of years ago. But yeah, finally writing a letter, kind of just explaining, not just saying here it is, accept me, but like really wanting to open a dialogue, because like I said, I'm a little ambiguous myself. Like, I don't know what I feel exactly about all this, so I want it to be a discussion. So like telling them this is what genderqueer is, this is the closest thing I can figure that describes me, and let's talk about it. And here's panamorous, and that's what it means to me. And yeah, like I said, I think they go together anyway, but I think that would be really good in many ways, because I don't feel like I can be myself when I go home to see my parents. I do bind, but my mom was like, oh, it looks like you've been losing weight. I was like, no, but I'm sure it's just because of that. But I think it'll be, I mean, I still won't be able to be my full self, I think, but it would be really, really good to have that out in the open. And I know that it's going to be a big problem because my parents are quite Christian, and I grew up that way, so there'll be a lot of discussion along that line. But yeah, terrified, and also having that sense of relief, like this will be over to some extent. Obviously it'll continue onward, but just having that kind of release is really good, and I think very necessary. So those are my thoughts on gender today. Yeah, I'll probably update whenever I do send that letter. Of course, I'm kind of taking the coward's way out and sending a letter instead of going, which is only 2 hours away, or even calling. I just can't deal with that raw emotion straight away. So there will definitely be conversations afterward. Anyhow, that's it. Just a few things on my mind.